Well, welcome everyone to Breakthrough Leadership. I'm Matt DeYoung.
And I'm Greg Yates, hoping to help you unlock your purpose, live with passion, and become the leader you were created to be.
Thanks for joining us in this, our 25th episode of our video blog here. And today's episode is called The Invisible Warfare of Competing Obsession. It sounds like a battle novel or something.
Yeah, it is. I can't seem to make these shorter.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And actually,
it is warfare, and we do have competing obsessions.
That's right. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about how you have a team, and too often on that team, you can have competing goals. It can even happen at a leadership level when you have a culture with two different leaders that have different ideas about what should happen. But what's been your experience with this word obsession and how we can have good obsession and bad obsession?
You know, people get obsessed about the strangest things, Matt. I mean, sometimes we don't even know people are obsessed about things until we accidentally step on the wrong topic,
right,
you know.
right,
Yeah, I was in a meeting once, I'll never forget this. I mean, the whole thing blew up. We finally just had to leave the meeting and just start over another day. And it was all because somebody made a comment, something along the line of, the only good cat is a dead cat. I didn't know we had like obsessive cat people and dog people in the same room on the same team. In that moment, the lines were drawn.
I feel like it's happening even now.
Yeah, it probably is. It probably is. And I will not tell you which side of this debate I was on. I'm not proud of everything that was said in that room about dogs and cats.
So what happened?
Well, I mean, eventually I just gave up because the obsession came to the surface and they were competing obsessions, Matt. But I guess my point is that how often is that really happening, but it's happening back here, it's just not being discussed.
It's not visible.
People turn things off. They take a perspective, an opinion. They are angered. Often those things, if you're the leader, you don't always perceive what's going on, but the obsessions can be in the room that are in such competition that your purpose for the meeting, your purpose for the team goes clear out the window.
Right. And so what we want to talk about today is those instances where we need to identify when there's competing obsessions, and also that we can pre-decide we want to have obsession in a healthy way and work together. And so how can we create a common obsession? That's what we got to ask ourselves.
You know, one thing, Matt, we have to know is that we're not going to agree on everything.
Right.
We're not going to agree on everything. I mean, I picture, all these team members like circles all the way around here. And in the middle, we all join and we only overlap in this very specific area. We only overlap in the area that we have chosen together to be productive and also to be obsessive. Mm-hmm. We're going to ask our team to borrow some of that obsession and contribute it to the team. That's language I don't think people are used to hearing. I'm telling you, from my perspective, if we don't find a way to create a shared obsession, we will not achieve our purpose.
Yeah, a lot of times obsession has kind of a negative context, but what we mean is this constant thinking, and we're going to talk about in a different video what obsession really means. And today we're going to talk about a couple of different ways that we can create this common obsession.
Well, what I want to ask you though, Matt, what if obsession's the only thing powerful enough? What if it's the only thing powerful enough to unite us into a collective force?
Yeah.
So that's why I use the word obsession. And like you said, there's a lot can be said there, but I really believe that obsession's the only thing powerful enough. And if the obsessions are competing, we're pulling apart instead of pulling together.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. So the first thing that we have to do in our steps, though, is to identify what are these common goals. How can we be obsessed in a healthy way if we don't know what they are, right?
Right. Sometimes when you enter the room, the environment has to change, right? A reset button. I love those easy buttons. Have you ever seen the big red easy button?
Absolutely.
You just wish you had one. I know you can get those. Just get it. You just want to push that button. And everything, somehow or another, we have to create the environments in our culture that when people are there, they understand the mission, they understand the obsession, and they're able to plug in an individual way to a shared obsession. And that requires intensely common goals, a common obsession.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is a great example, but I'm always struck when I love hockey, and we'll go to the United Center here in Chicago, go to the Blackhawks game.
Great.
And they start singing the song. It doesn't matter who it is to sing the national anthem at any event, but I just like this hockey one because it's a circular theater, and just everyone at the right time stands up, and they all know exactly what the flag stands for. There could be many different meanings, but like you said, there's that beautiful overlap where we all agree we're obsessed about this idea of what the flag stands for. Yeah, that's cool. So then we got to identify common goals. We also have to clarify individual impact. Is that right?
Yeah. Every person on the team has something they're there for, okay? Right. I love the beautiful analogy in the Bible talking about us all being parts of the body, yes. Right? I mean, that just transcends any words I could throw onto it right now. Yeah. But until we understand that we really do need each other, that we're better together than we are apart, that we're stronger, that everything about us is better as a team. Yeah. When that is clear, we've got common goal, we know what that is, but sometimes we don't believe we need everybody on the team, or sometimes we don't believe the team really needs us at 100% level. When we clarify the individual impact, we can actually create a shared obsession.
That's so good. And going back to your idea about the Bible says, you need all the parts of the body, that the hand would never say to the eye, I don't need you.
Right.
And how many times you've probably can identify this, you've gotten sick, a little cold, maybe something kind of bad with your health, right away man, I am so grateful to have that. We should have that level of gratitude, shouldn't we?
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So we have identify common goals, as you said, clarify individual impact, and then lastly, eliminate competing patterns. I'm so glad you're going to talk about this.
Yeah, I call them the weather patterns, right? You walk in the room, sometimes you can just feel the different high pressure, low pressure systems all going on at the same time. Hey, you've been there. You're a leader. You've been there, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So what do you do about it? Well, you always have to come back to creating the awareness, finding the triggers, finding what I call the flash points, the flashes that will help everyone return to the shared obsession. If you have competing agendas, resistance, lack of participation, all of those things are going to destroy the effort, the shared obsession of the team. They cannot exist. I used to say, if you can't push, at least ride, But some people won't even ride, they won't, And I guess I'm really reaching a point where I'm saying, of course that's our objective for all our team members. And if we as leaders are not doing everything necessary to create that shared obsession, to create individual involvement, and to eliminate the competing patterns in there, then we got to do that first. But at some point, eliminating those patterns may mean restructuring your team.
You said so many good things there, and just go back to that, analogy about the American flag, where people in that moment, their differences were kind of melted away, and they were eliminating competing patterns, all working together. It was just a moment, but still a one. So Greg, if there's people watching today and they're going, I really care about what you're saying, and I want to have a team that has a common obsession and a common goal, what would be a challenge that you could give to them to walk away with?
Well, my challenge, Matt, would be to listen and identify the competing obsessions that already exist on your team, and then arrive at a compelling shared obsession that you can begin to implement as a pathway to breakthrough for your team.
That's so good. That's a big challenge. And so now we've created kind of the initial conversation, but the conversation doesn't stop there. We'd love to hear from you. So if you're on our blog or our video channel, now would be a good time to comment below. And what would be great is if you would give us feedback about what are some of the common obsessions that you find often conflict with your mission, in your environment, in your organization. Leave us a comment.
Yeah, and don't forget, if you go to our website, morethanbreakthrough.com, we've got a lot of great conversations going on there as well. We'd love to share with you every facet of the Breakthrough Leadership team.
And some of the things that we'd love to share is our free resources about leadership and about Breakthrough. So if you're not already on our email list, go ahead and subscribe and we'll send those right to you.
You can do this. This isn't impossible. This is the traction you need to achieve breakthrough.